Hola, buenas tardes.
Hello, good afternoon. We're going to introduce, well, there was a call was made for requests for applications, and we have chosen two of them for being delivered here in the afternoon. So first, coming from the Airlines Group, we're going to listen to Rubén Pérez de la Red, the Head of Technology and Innovation, and Encarna Díaz, the Director of Outsourcing, representing the Airline Group and the Intraweb application. Thank you. Excuse me, in-travel application. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, Rubén. Hello, Encarna. Some 24 hours ago, I was in my city in Berlin working. I'm from Germany, and I was offered attending the conference with a very short time for me to prepare the travel. I've got a problem. I'm used to traveling quite a lot, and usually when I come back from the trip, I've got the feeling of not having been able to get to know that city and not finding enough time to visit that place. And that's the reason for in-travel. In-travel is a mobile application which helps you choose your tourist style, and if you, for example, choose Malaga, you're shown the most important sites, the points, the zones, which will help you get the feeling that you've enjoyed the city, and at the same time you're given a calendar, for example, this specific congress, and all the information that you can get from the place. And this application will be telling you information, giving you information on what to expect from your trip. And for you to get to know where each of the spots in the city is, these are the parts of the application. And also you can have access to comments from former users, which are usually very interesting. And surely it's interesting, but for me it gives me nothing new. But that can be given to me by any website on tourism or any application for visiting cities, which propose to me a tour. It's useful, but it's not adapted to myself. I wanted to turn it into my own trip, that it's adapted to my own wishes. Well, what we've shown you of in-travel is something you can find in many other applications. You can find at the Apple Store, application store. But in-travel makes a difference in terms of letting you perfectly plan the trip so you can make the most out of it. That is how I can optimize my time, but at the same time focusing on your own tastes. It's a pity I cannot show it on my own mobile phone, but let's plan as if you had made the decision to come to Malaga just yesterday. So I'll ask you a series of questions. That series of questions, if you let me ask them, start, of course, by asking you when are you going to come over. You came today, so you're going to spend the weekend in Malaga, and your flight arrived to Malaga at 8 a.m. in the morning, isn't it? And what time more or less do you want to get back to the hotel? 10 in the evening. Okay. You're going to be 3 days. Right. So on Saturday, apart from being able to attend the Congress, because tomorrow there are some speeches as well ongoing, but what time do you think you could start your activities? 10 in the morning? Okay, fine. You don't want to be up very early, isn't it? And coming back from your tourist activities, Yeah, about 10 p.m. or so, right. So the next step I would be requesting from you is for you to tell me what you would be mostly interested in, because we will give you a list of a series of places that might be interesting for you, so you can make the most of your visit. And also maybe if you come over to Malaga in summer, we would also be suggesting you about events taking place during Malaga's fair, or if there are other conferences ongoing, so you can have access to the speeches order, the agenda, so you can, for example, listen to a series of speeches and then decide when you want to get out to have lunch. So making the most of the time you're at the Congress. Yeah, but out of what you're saying, Duen, I didn't want to spend, so to say, I wouldn't like to use that word, like a boring weekend, but I'm in the Costa del Sol. I want to go to the beach. I want to know where the shops are. I would like to eat in Malaga at places the locals would recommend, or maybe visit a friend over here. Well, so you can only see a short list here, but the application can offer you an incredible amount of information. So we've got beaches, we've got you can choose the restaurant depending on the kind of gastronomy you're up to that day. Also, we can offer you the shopping area and some kinds of shopping you can do. And of course, we do not know where we know where, if you know the address of your cousin, for example, of your friend, you can introduce it into our application and we will tell you how to reach the place. And if you don't mind, maybe Encarna, the best thing for you would be to select all things that can be done in Malaga, as if I had checked with a check mark all the sites, all the places you can visit, because now that we've got the agenda, you won't have enough time, of course, especially if you've got to attend the Congress, etc. So what we do later on is suggesting you to do this or that. So what do you want to do with that? So, well, you can place it here, place it there, you can prepare an order and a priority order. So it is not just that we will offer you an agenda, but you can, of course, set up preferences. The next questions will be a bit more compromising. Could you please tell me what your hotel is? Is right at the center of Malaga. More or less, do you know where it is? If you don't know the address, you can point up to it in the map. Okay, you won't tell me your hotel room number. We know at what time you're going to leave in the morning, but do you want to get back to the hotel in the evening? Yeah. I will be getting back to my hotel. Okay, as I said, I was going to ask you tricky questions. Anyway, we will give you the information on whether, on how to come back to your hotel by bus, on foot, by bicycle, because the city maybe can offer you a bike rental service. All right, so that's all. I won't ask you much else. I will just give a name to this calculation and it will start doing that calculation. So we are, as Antonio has told you, we belong to the Adelante company. We have developed very complex algorithms focusing on the design of optimum tours based on very many different factors, very many different bits of information. So we offer we include more complex variables. For example, the opening times of certain places, the time you've got available. We take it into account on over the calendar, the average timings. It is not the same visiting the Picasso Museum, which will take you about 2 hours, as it is going to the bullfighting arena, or maybe the time you want to dedicate to visiting your cousin. So the result of this all is this agenda, this planning, which shows you the 3 days you've mentioned you're going to spend in Malaga, very well structured. The timings it will take you, so you can see what the result will be. And this is supported, of course, on the cartography, the map base. And the tour tells you, well, you arrived Malaga's airport at 8 in the morning. I'm sure you've taken a bus or a taxi. You're enjoying the speeches. We can even show you the plan of the conference center itself. We can tell you you've got to go to Auditorium X once you're inside the exhibition center. Later on, well, maybe you can take advantage of the time left in the afternoon, and then you have the Picasso Museum. Next thing would be the Roman Amphitheater. The next thing would be the bullfighting arena. And then in the end we are suggesting to you enjoying some fried fish in the evening. And as you've told us that you will come back to your hotel in the evening, that's why we're showing you that trail back. On the second day we are showing you a tour on the outskirts of Malaga, around the outskirts of Malaga, and this would be the way in which, according to your needs and to your wishes, is the way in which the tour would come out. And of course, the ending point would be the airport, which is the final destination you've included. And this follows rightly your wishes and your tastes. Well, I've got a series of questions. I listen about algorithms, calculations, opening times, and I've got the feeling that I'll have to plan my trip 8 days ahead, so the phone will make such calculations for me, or will control all that information. No, don't worry about that. In fact, I've asked the phone to do all the calculations with just the information you've given me, and it's a calculation that we've optimized so it can work with mobile phone processors. In case we see the calculations are too complicated, we refer that calculation to our servers, so it's usually quite easy. But of course you would need internet connectivity, so we can do the calculations for your phone and send them back. And in case I wanted to do that back at home, could I do that with my own PC, desktop PC? Yeah, we've got an interface for in travel at home. You can be playing with the points. You can move the tour about. And once you've saved your tour, you can transfer it onto your mobile phone, so it will mimic what you plan at home. Yeah, well, I like having everything planned in my agenda, but in days like these, my plan was to spend the whole weekend at the beach, but considering the weather, I think it is ruined. What I wanted to, my plan have been ruined. Well, in fact, considering our foreign visitors and the few days of rain that will be in this beginning of the year, seem to take place during this winter. Well, this weekend. In fact, weather can be introduced in the calculations. It can be used as an additional factor, or you can change the tour at any moment. For example, well, I can go to the beach. Maybe I would rather go into the museum, so we would change it. You can change and recalculate. And if I had everything very planned at home, and if I do not want to get back to my planning, how can I find places that are maybe close by? Well, we offer you an optimum agenda. We understand that the reality may change. Maybe you can take longer at a specific place or change your mind on the fly on the run. So the application tells you, asks you for your permission to use your current location, and the agenda would become automatically recalculated. So it is not just telling you turn right or turn left, it also will tell you at a specific moment that you won't be on time at this place, so it will offer you a calculation ahead. Or following what you've just told me, why should I focus on just the options you've offered me through the agenda? Well, as I told you, we ask you about your tastes and everything. At the same time, you can choose to activate a series of alerts, and at a certain moment, out of your proximity to a specific place, we may tell you, well, 2 lanes ahead, there's a specific shop that might be interesting for you, or maybe it's Easter and a religious procession will be going through a street which is nearby.
Okay, well, since I'm hooked to the social media, and I like to see what my friends and people who perhaps I don't know are doing with similar tastes. Can they also give me information about that route? Yeah, well, that's the spirit behind e-travel. That's precisely the case. Previously, we talked about the points themselves. These can be discussed by other users. Well, this is something that practically any system, any geolocation system today allows you to do this. We are one step ahead. If we've calculated our route and we've liked the route, we've had a good experience over the weekend, a good 2-week stay, well, we want to share that experience with other users. So you can publish your best experiences, or the opposite. You can say, well, this route that I planned so well, it wasn't really very good. It didn't turn out very well, so I wouldn't recommend that anyone should do this. These type of parameters we can introduce. And also you can incorporate experts' routes, routes by professionals, tourist professionals who can suggest different things. They can say, well, your tastes are good, but you could perhaps make your route more interesting by doing something else. If you've got 2 or 3 days, for example, London or Berlin or whatever. And then there's the other part. There you can see Congress, Malaga 1, 2, 3. Well, that's the route that we've organized for today. The Congress, Malaga 1 and 2 and 3. You can share this not only on main social media with comments, etc. You can also upload photographs, images of what you're doing every day. And with any of the applications you've got in your mobile, your smartphone, you can use WhatsApp, email, etc. Well, Ruben, I think that's good. Where can I download it from? Where can I get it? Well, you can't download it yet because we are just at the moment looking for partners, but we don't think it's going to be long. In a couple of months we hope to have this application available on the market. Do you like it? Yes, I did. Okay. We'll leave you there our contact details, and anyone who's interested, well, we'd be delighted to talk to you. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoy your weekend here in Malaga.
Muchas gracias, Rubén.
Thank you very much, Ruben and Encarna. Thank you very much for your presentation. And now, the second application that we have selected is from a Hungarian company, Adrecto, who have all prepared the application for the Congress, and this is going to be presented by Tamas Beck, and the name of the application is Memo Point. You have the floor.
Bueno, algún problemilla técnico.
Well, a small technical problem. Now we've got the presentation of Atrecto, Thomas Beck, and the name is MemoPoint.
Okay. Good afternoon. I work for Atrecto. We are a mobile consulting company in Central Eastern Europe. We developed a complete solution for tourism, and I would like to introduce, next to the solution, what we did for EFAPCO, the mobile application MemoPoint, what is one of our smart city solutions. MemoPoint is basically a mobile framework through you can represent your whole city for tourists. Tourists are coming, downloading the application, and they can see the city, the site, the important points, the cathedrals, or the, for example, the Auto Museum, in a view real time and for 100 years ago. It's really easy to handle, it's really customer friendly. We have for every city points where the application can be used. You move to the directed location. The application directs you to the point where you need to raise your mobile phone, put it in the right direction, and the application shows you the picture of the cathedral or from the Auto Museum, for example, 100 years ago. Here you can see the whole movement, how it can be done. You have an old-time map, you have a real-time map, which you prefer. Basically, there are a lot of possibilities to use this application. Not only represent objects, they have existed a long time ago, also for the future. And as it is a quite user-friendly application and easy to interact with other solutions, we can offer you to interact in this application, YouTube links, written information, gaming solutions, for example, just to introduce Malaga, if you visit in one day 5 locations, the cathedral and the Auto Museum the same day, you win a lunch in Carmen's restaurant, for example, and you can introduce more interactively the city to the tourists. Basically, this is the solution what we developed for locations. In Stop Through, we did the application for EFAPCO is more for events. The main thing is that you see, as I know already, one of the speakers had already spoken about the possibilities that they lie in mobile equipment downloads, and they will rise in the next couple of years. And my task is basically to show you how many possibilities there are to represent yourself and basically on the long term also increase your profitability and revenue through this method. Gain more interest in your city, stick out from a crowd, be one special city who has the application already on mobile, and yeah, be one of the first they use this application in Spain. We developed these three pictures just to see as an example. We did this application already for our hometown in Hungary, which was a great success. Yeah, basically, if you have any questions or what I could help you with, either because of this solution or because of one of the other solutions, I'm happy to help you. We are outside with one of my colleagues who can also speak Spanish, if it makes it easier. and we are happy to assist you anytime.
Are you finished?
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Bueno, pues aquí finaliza la exposición.
Well, that's the end of the presentation of the applications, and we're going to continue with the presentation that will be given by Ricardo Rojas Bejarano.
Para adelante, para atrás. Vale.